only mode.
Hello everyone, this is Ryan Ham, editor of Dental Lab Products magazine. I'm here tonight with an exciting new webinar, why partnering with Core3dcentrres is a game changer. I'm joined tonight by a few panelists that I'd like to introduce before we get started. First of all is Emily Bradley, director of Core3D Academy. Emily, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, Ryan.
We also have Mark Ferguson, who's the Dental Solutions Integrator at Core3dcentrres. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you.
We've also got Mike Brost, the Vice President of Sales from North America. Mike, thanks for being on.
My pleasure, Ryan. Thank you.
And finally, we've got Randy Savanavong, the Training Services Manager for Core3dcentrres. Randy, thanks so much for joining.
Thanks, Ryan.
So I'm going to let these guys take over. I just wanted to remind everyone watching and listening that if you have a question throughout the webinar, go ahead and type it in the little box right there. And at the end, I will be collecting all of your questions, and then I will ask them at the end, and the Core3D folks will be happy to answer them. So with that, you guys can take it away.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Ryan. And first of all, thank you to all of our viewers out there. I understand it's the end of the day and you've probably had a long day, and we do appreciate your time. And we'll make sure that the time that you do spend with us this afternoon and this evening is definitely time well spent. So this evening's webinar is entitled, Why Partnering with Core3dcentrres is a Game Changer. And there's a couple key words in there. We really do view our relationships with our dental laboratory partners as partners, and treat the relationships as such. And we'll talk a little bit about how the game is changing for the dental laboratory market and how Core3dcentrres can definitely help you. This is the third in a series of webinars. Previous webinars covered topics such as intraoral scanners, laboratory scanners as well. And you'll find, I think, at the end of this webinar that we at Core3dcentrres have the tools, the training, and an understanding of what you need to really be that game-changing partner for you. So who's Core3dcentrres? If you're not familiar with us, essentially Core3dcentrres is a global partnership of 6 of the largest and leading laboratories and milling centers in their markets. We're all second and third generation family businesses with very strong roots, and you see our mantra below is by technicians for technicians, guaranteeing independence, continuity, stability, while maintaining integrity and reliability and allowing you, the dental laboratories, to build loyalty with your doctors and commitment. As I mentioned, we have very strong roots, and in this image you see the founding fathers, if you will, of Core3dcentrres. We come from a wealth of backgrounds and resources, and very smart and very motivated, dedicated individuals who really got us started on the right foot and have set us in a very strong position going forward. As you look to the future, you'll see our next image, which gives you a glimpse as to Core3dcentrres as you see us today. Again, in the different markets that we service, we have a collection of exceptionally talented and motivated individuals that are all fully committed to helping you, the dental laboratories, succeed in maintaining the relationships and partnering with your dentists to provide the best-in-class solutions for your dentists and for their patients every single day. Where are we located? We have a very large global footprint. Indeed, Core3dcentrres is the largest dental milling group in the world, with locations in the United States and Las Vegas, in Canada and Calgary, Australia, Benelux, the United Kingdom, Spain, Germany, and Japan as well. We have a very broad footprint. These are some images of some of the technology that we have, and within the Core3dcentrres worldwide network, we're approaching $20 million worth of expenditures and investments. These are not your tabletop milling solutions. These are industrial, robust, best-in-class milling solutions that provide you the best fitting dental solutions available in the marketplace. We're not going to stop investing, and we promise to always provide you with the best and the greatest solutions available in the market. And we also have other options as well with regards to the intraoral scanning components. Here you see some of the the different players when it comes to intraoral scanners for the dentist. We also have other options, of course, Core3dcentrres from Align Technologies, and other intraoral scanners that continue to come to market at a rapid pace. But it's not just on the intraoral scanners. Of course, we have fantastic relationships with the laboratory scanners as well. Here you see a collection of some of the leading laboratory scanners, which allow you, the dental laboratory, to have full design control of the model, the abutments, and the final restorations, and really control the entire process. This gives you a quick snapshot of some of the solutions that we can provide for you, the dental laboratory, with regards to the products and services we offer. Again, you see a number of probably familiar products. We're the authorized milling partner for Emacs CAD, also for Lava. We're the only authorized custom abutment milling solution for BioHorizons, the fastest growing implant company in North America. We're also an authorized milling center for the iTero milled models from Align Technology. And we offer a vast array of milled and printed solutions, be it abutments, models, as you see on the screen in front of you. Okay, but further to that, you're going to hear from a couple of exceptionally talented gentlemen, Mark Ferguson and Randy Savanabong, who really are experts in the world of dental CAD design and manufacturing, and they're here to help you every step of the way. You're going to hear from Emily Bradley shortly as well. She does a great job with Core3D Academy, and they're going to share their knowledge and expertise in the technical side of things. But before we get to that point, I want to address why this webinar is important. Why do you, the dental laboratory owner, the dental laboratory technician, really need a partner who is a game changer? We come from a laboratory background, as I said earlier on, so we understand the changing dynamics within the dental laboratory market. We're well aware of the statistics that we hear in the marketplace. In Canada and the United States, some 2,000 laboratories closed down in the last year or so. And I'm sure that there's many of you sitting on the other end of the computer screen right now that might be facing these tough decisions. You know, in a predicament where making a wrong choice can really lead to a perilous future. And conversely as well, if you have the opportunity to make a good decision, you can really set your dental laboratory up for success going forward. It might sound hokey to some, but literally if you change the game that you play and how you play it, you can change your life. Sometimes the smallest decisions, like choosing the right milling and printing solutions partner, can change your life forever. And in fact, we've had conversations with Core3D partners who have experienced these levels of freedom, where they have the freedom now to escape from the bench and enjoy a game of golf. They're no longer in a position where they have to miss their son or daughter's Little League baseball game because they have to get that case out the door. If they choose to coach their child's team or want to spend more time active in their communities, they have that freedom partnering with Core3D. They're not going to be that empty chair at their daughter's dance recital. And possibly they'll have the time and the resources to take that family vacation and have the freedom to do so. One of the most rewarding things that I've experienced is having the conversations and listening to the feedback from some of the dental laboratories who are partnered with Core3D and hearing them say to me, "You gave me my life back." And that's simply by allowing them the access and the resources to manage their laboratories more effectively, to not have to close their doors. Because as you see in the images in front of you, you know, we have a vast array of solutions out there. We can't promise to fix all your problems, but we can definitely promise you that you won't have to face them alone. And as I mentioned earlier, you have exceptional people within Core3D who are fully committed to providing these solutions for you. At this time, I'd like to welcome and introduce Randy Savanabong to talk more about how Core3D will be there for you to support you and educate you in every step of this process. Randy?
Thanks, Mike. How's it going, everyone? So I want to touch base on a few of those things, and I want to put everyone in a kind of scenario where support is really hard to come across sometimes. And so the scenario I was in, I was actually working for a lab before. I was scanning, I was designing, and when I first went through the 3Shape training, for example, I was going through the training, And when the trainer was there, Randy, do you have any questions? No, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. As soon as that second day, the trainer leaves, bam, how do I do this again? And I'm pretty sure everybody runs into that problem where you don't want to be faced with that. So what we as Core3D want to provide for our customer and our support is the training and learning never stops once myself or Mark Ferguson, we leave your office. Basically, what allows us to reconnect with you all the time is the internet. Once we get to our office, you run into a problem, we can help you by logging onto your system, and we can see what you're encountering, what problems you have, and we can help and troubleshoot on our end. And basically, you get fast service right there on the spot where you don't have to wait for anyone to get you an answer. And that's what we're all about. So how do we like to connect? Is go to Assist. So you'll see there, I know it's small letters, but it's www.fastsupport.com. Once you enter that into your Google Chrome, Firefox, or Internet Explorer, we'll give you a support number. That support number that we give you will prompt you to download GoToAssist. And once you download GoToAssist, that basically allows us to see your screen, and we get to see what problems you have encountered. On top of it, even if you don't have a software issue and it's hardware, I've had some customer hook up their webcam and they showed me some of their issues through their hardware, and it allows us to see what issues has come about where they don't have to wait for an answer from 3Shape or another CAD-CAM scanner. Basically, we're on the spot, we're right there, and we're willing to help you at any time. Also, with 3Shape training, you know that 3Shape, they come up with a different demo manager every year. And how do you, as your small lab, you're so busy, how do you stay up to date? Well, we do that for you. So myself and Mark Ferguson are actually in New Jersey right now, and we're going through our annual 3Shape training. So we're here, we're going to learn the new functions, and after we go back home, we help you and we show you the new software updates and what functions are new, what can you learn, and what you can apply to your day-to-day needs that will help you be more efficient with what you're working on. Here's another screenshot of basically showing that we registered and we're here for the training. Another thing what I like about 3Shape is they provide monthly or weekly webinars, and usually we also sign up for these. So when they come up with a webinar, we sign up, we learn it, we see what's new, and especially with 3Shape coming, they had a lab scanner before, now they have a clinical scanner. They're coming up with a surgical guide software. So basically, joining their webinar allows us to stay up to date with what's new on their end. So I'm just going to do a live demo right now on some of the common issues that we have with some support calls that we get from our customers. So here's a common one where the customer is trying to cut back the facial here, and they want to build porcelain on the facial. But you can see that the cutback is on the wrong side here. So basically, we'll get our customers to log on to the Fast Support. We'll give them a login number, and then it'll allow us to log in and see what they're seeing at that very moment. So again, we'll take control. We'll walk you through. We won't just do this. We'll walk you through and guide you through the whole steps. So example, we'll initialize this to start all over. And then we'll just show you that we can help you on our end. So you don't have to wait to get an answer from someone else. It's basically live, first-hand support, and we can help you with all the issues. And this is just one of the examples that we run into. So we'll go preview. And now you can see that it's cut back on the correct side. So this is an example of one of the issues that our customers face and how we like to help them achieve what they're trying to achieve. All right. So that being said, I'm going to leave it to my colleague Mark Ferguson now, and he'll talk about Core 3D Academy 1 and 2. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Randy. Good demo. So we do start with Academy 1. Academy 1 is the fundamentals of scanning and designing. During this course, we go over how to properly scan, how to set up your models, basically how to take the analog world and put it into your computer to keep it as comfortable as possible and make sure that everything is flowing smoothly through your lab. So one of the things that we do here, we certainly start by going over the order form, and you can see here we're just filling in the patient name. During the course, what we'll do is we'll go over what all the icons mean, what all the different subdivisions mean. Up here on the top right, we have a double preparation scan and a pre-preparation scan. One of the things that I find to be very important is to know the difference between the two. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting up a 10-unit smile design case. This case is pretty similar to what a lot of labs would do, is full contour on the bicuspids, but yet cut back on the anteriors. So this is set up for Emacs, single units. This is actually the case that we teach at the end of Academy 1. So after the course, any student should be able to take a case like this and design it. So you can see I'm marking the double preparation and pre-preparation scans. And what we're going to see from here is actually what that scan data looks like when you have it on your computer. So what we have here is our preparation scan, which we can see is the solid model to get the most accurate positioning of the dies. Individual die scans to make sure that all of our restorations are going to fit as well as possible. But then you see this flat plane. So that was scanned in to act as a stick plate, a horizontal reference during our design process. Works out pretty well, and then what we're seeing here is bringing in the diagnostic wax up. So now we have everything in our virtual world that we would like to see if we were waxing this case manually. So the nice thing also about going virtual is now as we look at this, we can get measurements of how thick our restorations are going to be. How much incisal space do we have? Are we going to have enough room for cutback? Where are we going to be able to do these types of things with the case? A lot earlier than we would do if we were manually waxing this case. So once again, it is taking what we would want on our analog bench if I was waxing this case and putting it in a virtual world. So from there, the students of Academy 1 should be able to walk out and be able to design a case like that, which leads into Academy 2, which is where we'll start being able to take these cases and make them more comprehensive with with implants and custom abutments and bar design. So what we have here is a case where we're going to design a titanium abutment with a single Emacs crown over the top. So this is a split file case. We're designing both of them at the same time. And what I've done here is I have kind of a pre-anatomy design, just kind of setting up positioning and sizing, general occlusion of where we're going to be with our final Emacs restoration. And from here, we can take that final restoration and design our custom abutment underneath it, making sure we're providing the space necessary as well as giving the support that we need. So just kind of playing with translucencies a little bit, making sure we have everything. And if I pause it here, what we can see is we're working on the margin line, and we can see this little grid kind of faintly by our center control point. The nice thing here is that grid is 1/2 millimeter by 1/2 millimeter. disappears. Now we have our custom abutment fully designed, support for our Emacs crown. We can mark our margin for the Emacs, set our cement space, and then from there what we'll do is we'll just go through. We've already pre-designed the anatomy, so it's roughly size-wise, shape-wise, occlusion-wise, pretty close to where we need it to be. So now I can just go in and do some fine-tuning. One of the things that I like to show people is how you have a nice big circle there for area of the restoration that you're affecting while actually using very little material at the same time. This enables us to put a nice smooth layer on if we're adding, or remove material in a nice smooth way as well. So we're just going to kind of smooth out our occlusal table here, make it a little bit more consistent with the teeth that we have the rest of the way in the arch, double checking our line angles, put a little concavity in those interproximal regions. Pretty easy to do. At this point, one of the things that I teach is to make your contacts a little bit tight. We're going to be able to use some features in the software that were started kind of toward the end of last year's software that enable us to actually do a case like this modellessly, where we know that this restoration isn't going to have contacts adjusted to fit down, that we won't have any bulbous areas underneath our contact points. And that's the tool that I just clicked here. Depending on your version of 3Shape software, you might have seen these tools before, but just clicked this one right here, and what that does is that closes up the undercut areas on the adjacent teeth. So now I can set my contact area to a particular distance. You can just type it in right there, use the slider. But now I can just go through and remove the material so that that contact is set absolutely perfectly. And this restoration, without any adjusting, should just drop right down in the mouth or on a solid model if you're using models. You know, not many people are going modelless yet, but it is the future, and the ability is coming very quickly, kind of depending on how people are accepting of it. But at this point, our restoration is done, our custom abutment is done, we've passed all of our validation checks, and then in order to send this case to Core3D, we get this pop-up, and we just click that send button. So that's pretty early in our Academy 2 course. From there, we'll go on to bar designs and what it means to what you need with your bar designs. You know, anybody who's worked on implant bars will say, you know, for 1,000 labs, you'll probably get 2,000 different designs for the same case. My personal opinion is that I'm not always so worried about what the bar looks like. I'm far more interested in how it supports, in this particular instance, maybe a hybrid denture, make sure I have good support for my acrylic, which I can use some of the tools digitally, get some measurements. There I have just over 2 millimeters of acrylic to the buccal, maybe a little bit too much to the lingual, so I can just stretch my bar out and bring that in to be where I need it to be. I can measure the area of the bar at that point, just kind of go around and click different areas of the bar to make sure that I have support everywhere I need it to be. Now, within the Sculpt feature, and one of the nice things about 3Shape is that this Sculpt toolkit you're seeing over on the left, I'm using a feature that's there for everything called the attachments. Most people just kind of skip over it because they wonder where it would be used. Well, if that's one of the things you're wondering about, this is where generally you'll use it. In this case, what we'll do is we're going to put some pins on our anterior so that if some of the newer denture teeth are maybe set up as kind of veneer type denture teeth, at which point now with the scan in of my denture wax up, I can position this pin, I can move it around, make sure that it's right where I want it to be, and provide the proper support for the final restoration. And in this case, I placed 4 of them on there, so I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit. We got the third, and they're placing the fourth, and now I can just add some incisal length to make sure I truly do have the proper support. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the patient's right and use some attachments that were developed in Core3D Spain facility. And these attachments are actually full contour anatomy teeth. So this is one way, certainly not the only way, but one way in which some people will do some maybe full contour zirconia Prato style zirconia bridges, zirconia bars. Basically, we start with our anatomy teeth, and then from here we can manipulate the tooth both in size and in space. It's just like working with a denture tooth. I'm not worried about it being connected to anything. Place it right in where the molar is on my denture, and if I needed to, I can fill in for occlusion in this particular instance. Looks like the anatomy is a little deep for us, but that's really easy to work on at this point. So I'm just going to do these two teeth here. Just manipulating things around, making sure that I have good positioning both in relationship to the other teeth as well as with the bar and in relation to the approved denture that was sent back with the case. So now that I have those two teeth positioned, from here I have another anatomy library that I developed actually in Las Vegas, kind of seeing a little bit more of a desire for retrievability with some of these cases, or fixability, for lack of a better term. What I did here was I made an anatomy library of preps. So this was a nice, easy way to take one of these advanced bar cases in a crown and bridge lab and quite easily turn it into a case that you're very familiar with. Now, so same way I moved the pins around and I moved the full contour anatomy teeth around, just positioning that prep underneath the denture tooth of the wax up, giving enough space I can do a full contour zirconia if necessary, or maybe an Emax crown, PFM. You know, the options are limitless, and that's one of the nice things about going digital is that materials start to not matter. Whether we're milling this in zirconia or titanium or chrome cobalt, if you want to just stack some porcelain to it, it really doesn't matter. It's the same design process regardless of how you're looking at it. So once again, nice and easy, and we're ready to go. And from here, just a couple last tweaks. Now, within this bar design, we have three very different styles of bar, any of which can be used to complete the case. From here, I'll hand it off to Emily to talk a little bit more specifics on the courses that we give.
Thank you, Mark. In this slide, you'll see our Academy 1 course. It's the Fundamentals of Scanning and Design, designed by Mark. And I think it's really important to address the fact that these courses were designed by technicians for technicians, not just computer guys or engineers that stepped into the field. Mark and Randy have been technicians long before, and I think that's a really neat aspect that they bring to our courses, is the fact that they've seen it from both sides. So in this first course, the Fundamentals of Scanning and Design, it's our foundational course. It's the course we like to build off for our other two courses. You'll find out it's a 3-part series, and we offer this at CAPE, the Center for Advanced Professional Education campus in Las Vegas. Our next course, our Academy 2 course, is coming up in September in the States, but we also have our first Canada course coming up in Calgary, June 13th and 14th, and we still have space available. So if you're in Canada or would like to travel to Canada, we'd love to have you there. It is our first class that we're offering in Canada, so we're pretty excited about that. And here we have our Academy 2 course. This is the next step in the process. Most of the skills that we use in this class and that we teach in this class build off of our Academy 1 course. So it is kind of important to kind of take them in order so that you're not missing any or skipping any gradients there. This course is the digital implant and implant bar design. As you saw previously, Mark was doing some demos on this course about what he offers. We have an Academy 2 course coming up in Las Vegas, July 11th and 12th. So if you're interested in joining that one, we would love to have you. We have an Academy 3 course that's just coming out. Our first one's going to be actually in September. Academy 3 is going to be focusing on advanced smile design. So we're just going to take it to a new level. You're not finding a lot of training out there that has anything to do with smile design, so we're pretty excited about that one. Randy and Mark Ferguson are going to be instructing, team teaching both of them. So, you know, as you've just witnessed, they're both really knowledgeable in the field and they have a lot to offer. Along with the courses that we offer, our on-site courses, we offer several other education options. We have our monthly webinars that come up the third Wednesday of every month. We have our next webinar. It's going to be June 25th. Susan Van Kindenberg is going to be presenting on that webinar along with Greg Harris. So if you're interested, we'd be excited to have you. Along with our monthly webinars, we have bi-monthly courses in the U.S. So our courses are offered every other month in the U.S. Academy 1, Academy 2, Academy 3. And on the off months, we offer our Academy courses in Canada now. So pretty much if you're willing to cross the border either way, you're going to have a course every month. So we're really excited about that also. If you're unable to come to us and see us on site, we actually offer our traveling Core3D Academy courses, where Mark Ferguson or Randy Savanavong will come to your lab and they'll specifically tailor a course to the needs of each lab. So whether we come and offer the fundamentals of scanning and design or our Academy 2 course, or if you have specific needs, we can tailor that course and address those needs. And for the most part, they plan on staying in lab for about 2 days. And you know, what's really beneficial about that is they're able to look at your system, watch your workflow, and maybe see where there might be some glitches in the system. So it's really beneficial to have them come on site to your lab. With each course, we do offer and bring in a value add, is what we like to call it. We bring our partners in, give them some time to address the course and the class regarding new techniques, new partnerships, reasons why we're partnered, just to kind of deliver that little extra to the students, whether there's a new material that they've never heard of or a new technique that could actually increase their workflow. And along with our courses, we also offer CE credits. So if you're looking to get some CE credits, all the courses we do offer will have CE credits involved. So in order to contact us, for whether it's a Traveling Core3D Academy or to sign up for a course, just reach out to our Core3D centers, and all the information is on our website. So with that being said, Ryan, I'll turn the time over to you. And I just want to thank everybody for joining us today.
Okay, thanks so much, Emily. As you guys were talking, I just wrote down a few questions about some of the things that you discussed. First of all, Randy just had a couple quick questions about GoToAssist, because I know you talked about that. First of all, does a lab need to pay for GoToAssist?
No, they don't. All they do is with that fast support link, they just type that in. It'll prompt them to download it, and then once they download it, it's basically on their desktop, and they don't have to pay for it. No.
Okay, cool. That's great. Does a user of GoToAssist, do they have to log on to the GoToAssist website each and every time?
No, once they download that software, it should just be on their desktop and saved to their PC. Unless they uninstall the software, then that's the only way they'll delete that. Okay,
cool. Not sure, you guys can decide who the best person to handle this is, but just wondering, like during the courses, do you have hands-on time during the courses, and then how does that work?
I'll take this. So for the courses, what we'll do is we'll have a bit of lecture time, and then either Randy or myself will run through a particular case to show a few different techniques, a few different ways of getting about to the final product. And then what we'll do is we'll have the students in the course actually do that case on their own with us walking around, answering any questions, troubleshooting anything that we're seeing as we go around. So it's certainly an opportunity to, the hands-on time is certainly an opportunity to get individual questions answered, but also an opportunity to not only learn from us, the instructors, but also from the other classmates.
Okay, cool. I am wondering, you guys mentioned working with a 3Shape scanner, but if someone has a dental wing scanner, would you be able to support them on that one as well?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. If you customers have a 3Shape, or sorry, dental wing scanner, we can definitely support you on that. Myself and Mark Ferguson are actually going to ExoCAD for training on that software in a couple weeks, so we'll soon be able to support customers on that as well.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, if someone needs help right now, but they don't have time to wait for the next Vegas course, is there another way they can get training? And if so, how can they arrange that?
Hey, Ryan, I'll take that one. It kind of goes back to what I was just saying about the traveling Core3D Academy. You know, once they reach out to us and kind of specify what they need, maybe some questions they have, what kind of course they'd like to take, we get it on our calendar pretty quick. We get either Mark or Randy out there to the lab, and like I said earlier, it's about 2 days they spend there on average. Spend the first couple hours kind of looking at the system and the workflow, and then go from there. So, yeah, they would just have to contact us, and we would arrange it as soon as possible to get somebody out to the lab to help them out.
Okay, great. That sounds terrific. All right, well, that is all the questions I have. So thank you, everyone, so much for being here. Thank you especially Emily, Mark, Mike, and Randy for this great presentation.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you for having us. Yeah,
Thanks, everybody, for attending.
Thank you very much.